Hey everybody, welcome. Thank you for finding my broadcast. Welcome aboard. Welcome to New York City. It is currently just about 5:45 in the evening, and so we are in rush hour. Hey, hello there, Carolyn. It's getting late over there in the UK. I'm actually right around the corner from where you stayed when you were visiting New York. Hey, good afternoon. Great to see you again. Oh my gosh, all my good folks are showing up. I am here on 55th Street between Broadway and 7th Avenue. Very narrow little street with some very old buildings. And the owners of the building have made sure that if you walk by, you're going to notice them. At least I hope you notice them. Because they have special lighting on them to illuminate the terrific architecture, the kind of architecture you don't get anymore. Yay, yes. I can't believe I was actually on the east side and had to take the subway back from the east side during rush hour. Work on 83rd Street, west side or east side? Hey, Texas, welcome aboard. Beautiful old buildings here. Where is the snow? We got rid of it. We didn't like it. We didn't want it. We didn't need it. We got rid of it. These beautiful, beautiful old buildings. So grateful that the owners set up lighting on this to demonstrate just how stunning the architecture is. Really, really unique. Hey, from Philadelphia. I bet you still got a lot of snow on the ground, don't you? We still have some snow here. Look, there we go. You want snow? There's a great big mound for you. Temperature has been in the 40s today, 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's the only snow I like, is the one that pops up little snowflakes instead of hearts. Hey, from France. But we do have little mounds of snow here and there. But as you can see, sidewalks, curbstone, the corners, the streets, everything immensely passable. Found it the same way on the Upper East Side. So Manhattan's in really good shape, considering that, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it was just like 5 days ago, we were in the middle of a blizzard, just about the biggest snowstorm New York has ever had. Missed setting a record by 1/10 of an inch. How annoying is that? Nope, we got rid of it. The city did a terrific job, and we were helped by the weather. Temperature has been above freezing for at least 36 hours now. Claudio, thank you for the invite to a friend. That's lovely. So we are on 55th Street between Broadway and 7th Avenue. And we're going to go take a little walk. Not going to spend too much time out here this evening. Did some earlier scopes. 50s in... Oh, okay. That's not bad. Not bad. 50s. We didn't quite make it there. I think we got up to like 46 or 47 degrees. I think today was meant to be the warmest day of the week. So I think tomorrow is just going to be around 41 or 42 degrees. Things people never notice when they're walking around midtown Manhattan. All these little architectural gems, really terrific. Oh, that's for sure. That is for sure. Saturday, if any of you were watching, I went outside. I had an area I had found under scaffolding that was a block long. So I went out there, wimped out, stood out there, and showed the snow falling and how it was accumulating and what was happening to the traffic and what happened after the traffic ban and snow plows coming through and policemen sneaking into the 7-Eleven, which was one of the few places that was open. Oh yeah, it was quite a day, and it was cold and windy. So I stood out there, went back home and had to pry my hand off the iPhone. So yeah, there's still, signs of it. Hey, from Pakistan. But mostly it is gone. It is gone from any impediment to vehicles or pedestrians. Oh, thanks. I just try to keep you up to date on what was going on that day. It was pretty awful. I went out there on Sunday, same area. Been covering that regularly, keep going back to it. Now there's no need to because it's all gone. Let's say the city did a fantastic job, but we were also helped by the weather. Getting temperatures that were well above freezing for several days. This has helped us clean up a lot. And the ubiquitous Starbucks coffee. Now, I'll tell you something, if you're visiting New York and you're on data plan and you're worried about using up too much data, let me show you something here. All the Starbucks in the city have free Wi-Fi supplied by Google, and it's very strong Wi-Fi, so you don't even have to go inside. You could stand right where I am now, and you could connect to the Wi-Fi from there, free Wi-Fi. There's also free Wi-Fi in all the subway stations here in Midtown Manhattan and in all the public libraries, as well as in many other spaces. So there's a lot of free Wi-Fi around here. Close to home, but I'm just sort of wandering around a little bit first. The temperature's comfortable. It's sort of nice. Yeah, McDonald's does. Yeah, several of those. Oh, well, I'm glad. That's one of the things. I've had several people say that they've checked out a few things that they've seen in my scopes when they finally get here, and that's always good. Well, what's happening? Yeah, they're going to try and get it all over the place. And along 8th Avenue, last week I saw them setting up stations. There's going to be booths set up. All the old spots where telephone booths used to be, are going to be turned into free Wi-Fi stations and also charging stations. So, yeah, it's going to get there, which will be terrific. And then I wonder, some of the suppliers, what they're going to do with their data plans if everybody's going to start using the Wi-Fi and start cutting back on their data plans. Yep, that's it. I bet it looks familiar to at least one person who is on this scope at the moment. Am I right? Well, I'm glad you love New York. New York is really a terrific place to visit. And one of the things, oh my gosh, is this too silly?
No, hello.
Okay.
I'm on my way to, sorry, I'm interrupting your scope. I'm on my way to the gym. I'm on my way to the gym.
Oh my gosh, this is Mary NYC 1.
I want you to follow Marty.
And if you are not following her, you need to do that. You need to do that. Did you do your rooftop today? No, not today.
I just got home from work.
Oh, okay.
I have an appointment at the gym.
I was standing here just talking to a gal, Carolyn, from the UK, who was staying here over this snowy weekend.
Oh, wow. Tell me
Yeah.
to say hello.
Yeah. So we're just talking about her adventures in Blizzard Town.
It's great to see you. I have an appointment, so I'm going to
Run, okay.
But let's catch up soon.
Absolutely.
All right?
Okay.
I'm going to be at the thing on Tuesday.
Tuesday the 2nd. Very good.
Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Yes, that's Mary NYC 1. And if you're not following her, please do. We've got a group of scopers here in New York City that is absolutely amazing. I know so many of them personally. As you can see, we all know one another. We like one another. We get together. We're going to be getting together next Tuesday night again. We run into each other around town. It is terrific. Just a great experience, and I thank Periscope for that. So it's not just you folks out there watching my scopes, but also fellow scopers here in New York City. Yes, the Edison Hotel is still here. I've actually done a scope walking through the lobby, because you can go from, I guess it's 47th Street to 46th Street, going through the lobby of the Edison Hotel. And I did do that once already. The finest scopers in New York. Why, thank you. You know, it's interesting, because we all have different ways of scoping the city. And I say this often, we all do it differently. The one thing we have in common is that we all love New York. So, you know, yeah, the Park Central Hotel used to be a Sheraton. Enter to the Wellington. Well, all right, we can go across the street and go in the lobby. Sure, I can do that. Why not? Your wish, well, not all your wishes, but some of your wishes will be my command. Hey, from Kentucky. Very cold in Tel Aviv, really. 6 Celsius. My sister lives in Jerusalem, and I understand that there was some hail and some snow there and everything. The hot dogs are fine, you know, nothing super special. You won't find them, consider them a gourmet treat, but they won't do you any harm. All right. So we are here at 7th Avenue and 55th Street. And per request, we're going to go and just take a little quick dip into the lobby of the Wellington Hotel. Very popular hotel. Many people over the past few months have asked me about it. Fortunately, Carolyn has stayed here just recently and says it's fine. A place to recommend. An upscale hot dog. Oh, I don't know. All right, beautiful old lobby. Let's go check it out. Is this going to make you want to come back to New York real quick? That's the Park Central, formerly a Sheraton, across the street. Thank you. All right. And here we are. Already miss it. Oh. Maybe you shouldn't watch, Carolyn. Stayed at the Edison. Yeah, the Edison has gone through upgrades and everything, and I understand it's really quite good. But here we are. And reception is indeed around to the right. Oh my gosh. Carolyn, anytime you need a New York fix, get in touch. I'll come over here for you. That's so good to hear. You know, particularly these older hotels that have been around for so long. I love it when I hear that they're still have a standard that meets contemporary demands. We should have. When you come back, because I know you will be back. All right, what's here? East Wing. Am I going anyplace special? Am I going to get lost? No, I don't. I'll have to check on that. I'm in the Wellington Hotel. Main entrance is on 55th Street and 7th Avenue. It's between 55th and 56th Street, right behind Carnegie Hall. Old part, not so nice. Okay. Well, we don't have to go much further. You see what this looks like. Oh, singer, not the song. Well, Carolyn, we have another Carolyn in the house. Is from the UK, who stayed at this hotel during the blizzard. Yes, Luis, I am using a mic. It's a Movo, M-O-V-O, lapel mic that I bought from Amazon. And it seems to work quite well, so I'm very pleased with it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. It wasn't that all that expensive. It was like $25. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Pizza. Well, the carpeting looks pretty new. I have a feeling a lot of it is vintage. This is an old hotel. Look at the... That's okay. So you were way up there. I bet you couldn't see very far out the windows on Saturday. I mean, I know whenever I was looking around, you couldn't see more than 2 blocks, and everything was sort of white out after that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's the old decor, the design, it's all just so lovely. And this artwork is all over the place. The reception area. This is the Wellington Hotel, which is located in Manhattan on 7th Avenue between 55th and 56th Street. Lots of beautiful artwork around here, very distinctive, very Art Deco. No, I live in Manhattan, but other people who are in the scope have stayed here, and lots of people have asked about it over the months that I've been scoping. They gave you a box of chocolates. How lovely! Oh my gosh! All right. One last, yeah, huge mirrors. This is great. Yeah, actually, I think I was in here once a long time ago. It's the first time I've come in the lobby in ages. And actually, I've been in the scope from the lobby of the Plaza Hotel and across the street at the Park Central. First time in here. Need to get to the Waldorf, need to get to some of the other old hotels in the city, the ones that people know by name, and let you see what they look like. This is always sort of a fun thing to do. All right. So we now step out into the cold, cruel world. Yeah, air crews stay here. Actually, they stay at all kinds of places. Several hotels. I used to work in hotels, so I have a fondness for them in general. Years ago, I worked at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel, which is on Michigan Avenue, right near the Tribune Tower. It's now an Intercontinental Hotel, 555 Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And we had some flight crews staying there. But the other thing we had staying there, which was sort of exciting, baseball teams. And since Chicago is one of the few cities that has teams in both leagues, we had every single team in baseball staying there. It was sort of cool. Hey, from Brazil. So this is 7th Avenue. The bright lights further down would be Times Square. It is sort of rush hour here, I guess. Yeah, it's not that far. And probably I will do some Times Square tomorrow or Friday. The weather's still going to stay good, and I haven't been over there this week yet. But I do have some errands to do after I finish the scope, so I'm going to be going in the other direction. Yeah, it's not that far. This is a terrific location. If you're visiting New York, highly recommended. As far as I'm concerned, location is the most important thing, and if you're going to want to spend time in Midtown, going to theaters, going to Museum of Modern Art, wandering around Central Park, visiting Times Square, yeah, sure, we can do that. Disney store. I've been in the Disney store. I did it when they first revealed all the new Star Wars stuff, when they put that on display. Not at midnight when people were lining up to get in, but I went over the next day and we did that. The Disney store, yeah, you know, it probably wasn't in a title. Sorry about that. You can't, checking your cam. Oh my gosh. I can't escape you guys. One of the things I wish Periscope would do is allow a change in titles on the scopes, either while you're doing it, or if not while you're doing it, when you end the scope. Because there are times when you start a scope and you end up someplace of interest completely different that wasn't mentioned in the title. I'm sure that's what happened with the Disney store. And so then nobody can actually find it if that's what they're looking for. Keep losing the connection. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah, I don't know if it was titled with the Disney store or maybe new Star Wars toys or something like that. But whenever, I guess you could do it by date, whenever that date was that the Star Wars paraphernalia was released, I know there was a big midnight crowd and some people were scoping at midnight, the huge crowds waiting to get in. Oh, all right. You know, sometimes I've had this happen. I'll be watching a scope and I'll be having problems and I'll say, you know, losing connection or poor picture, and everybody else goes, fine here, fine here. So it's not always the signal that's going out. Sometimes it's, hate to say this on your end. Oh yeah, I've had that happen too. Let's keep in mind, Periscope is not even a year old. They keep trying to do upgrades to it. It initially started only on iOS, and they expanded to Android. A lot of the features they added to Android later. Oh yeah, the hotel movie, absolutely. Updated in the last couple of days, yeah. But so I mean, since it is, we're talking about 10 months old. Yeah, just about 10 months old. It launched on March 27th. So, in 10 months, lots of users, lots of people. We've managed to assemble a wonderful Periscope family. So, I sort of go gentle on the criticism. It's not that warm out to go in just a t-shirt. I mean, it is compared to what it had been, because temperature's up and there's no breeze. I don't think I'm going to do GoPro. Version on Windows Phone called Telescope. Huh. Okay. It's interesting. I saw some people using GoPro and they'd switch back and forth. And, other than the range it would give you or whatever, that nonsense, the picture quality didn't seem that great. But then I was watching some other people I know, and their picture quality varied when they switched from the phone to GoPro. There was a big difference. So I don't really know. Now, I don't know what phone they were using. I should find out. Walk over to the payphone. Why would I want to go to the payphone? I don't need to call anyone. I've got a phone in my hand. There's nobody I want to talk to right now except you guys. Hey, from Turkey. I'm right where you used to work. Baby cat, where did you work? Reveal all. Yeah, you have to hook it up to your iPhone and use the Wi-Fi from the GoPro. I don't know. Love from Melbourne. I assume, is that Australia or Florida? Fill me in. Wisconsin. Yeah, the streets, everything is clear. The sidewalks, the curbstones, all that stuff, no problem. Australia. Okay. Do you know Omar Sea Shepherd? Or what was it, Making Life Real? Two great scopers from the Melbourne area. Who I met here in New York City. Omar's going to be back here in a couple of weeks, so look forward to going out and lifting a pint with him again. Omar, yes. If you can't, it's a little after 6 o'clock. If you can't find him, go to my profile and look at the people I'm following. You'll find him in there. Him and Making Life Real, his girlfriend, two of the most wonderful people. Met them here over a month ago at a Periscope gathering we had here in the city. They were here. We had some adventures in the next few weeks. Well, I'm not going to do Times Square today, but I will probably in the next 2 days. There are several Times Square scopes that you can catch up on. If you go to my catch page, and you can find my catch page. If you're looking, again, look in my profile. Lots you can do out of there. And you will see a website, www.catch.me, etc., etc. Those are duffel bags for sale. You can go to that catch page and you'll see several Times Square tours. So you can always get a New York fix even if I'm not out on the streets. Lots of places around here do sell luggage, duffel bags, all that kind of stuff. I guess they assume visitors are going to buy enough stuff they need an extra. Extra luggage to bring all the good stuff they bought in New York back home. Lots of stores like this in the midtown area. And also, you know, sometimes whatever luggage you've got gets damaged or whatever. Yeah, well, trust me, they're chained to something. Yeah, exactly. You know, I remember I had traveled, and one of the things I had was a large tote bag, and I remember I was in Amsterdam, and the thing just fell apart on me. I went, no. Before I leave, I got to get a new one. And then I was at a flea market and found one there that was great. Okay, we are now, this is 56th Street. And this is Carnegie Hall. Over there is the, right there, through that door is where they can pull in pianos and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Marmite. Oh my gosh. There are a few things in life I love to eat. I love food. I have not really found a cuisine that I categorically dislike. I tend to favor spicier foods, but there are three things in life that I don't even want to consider eating. We'll start off with Marmite. Once I tried it, that was enough. Vegemite, which is basically the same thing. And that wonderful Scottish treat, haggis. Heinz baked beans, a gourmet compared to any of the three things I just mentioned. Dire emergency. Now, sanitary waste services. Obviously, trash is piling up because sanitation has been so busy doing all the plowing and everything that's required to make sure that the city was in good shape. I guess that the good news is that if you're busy doing snow removal, that means the weather isn't hot, so the trash won't become offensive. I'm going to take you guys down to the village someday to McNulty's Coffee and Tea Shop. Oh yeah, Freedom Tower is miles from here, downtown, quite a long distance. Okay, let's go around here. How many miles? What, down to the Freedom Tower? Probably, let's see, where it's 3, probably about 5 or 6 miles. Or why not just use lots of butter and skip the Marmite? That sounds good to me. Really? Oh well, obviously people have developed a taste for it, otherwise it wouldn't be a product that's been around for decades. Oh, I haven't done that. Yeah, yes, I will get to Lower Manhattan. So many things down there to cover. Free travel? No, don't I wish. But actually, I'm not going to complain about that because I was in the travel business for many years and really had some wonderful travel benefits for a long time. Gave me opportunity. That's how I used to go to the UK regularly and go to Paris regularly. 2 places I love to go. Well, no concessions on what? On local transportation, yes. We get half-price rates on subways and buses here in the city. We're in the UK most of the time in London. I went to Oxford and Cambridge and down to Brighton and went out to the Salisbury Plain to see Stonehenge, of course. But London is, I once added up all the time I spent, and over a few decades, I spent a total of about 1 year in London. Really, that long. Longest stretch was about 5 weeks one time I was there. Some friends invited me to stay at their flat in Islington. I did that. That was terrific. Well, that's the whole idea. I want you all to love New York. I want you all to want to come here. And I want all of you who can find a way to get here, to get here. And for those of you who for some reason cannot come to New York, at least I can give you something of the experience of walking around the streets, checking out things, visiting places. Ah, okay. Oh, I've been in Heathrow so many times. Actually, Heathrow, Piccadilly line, right into the city. Get off at the Holborn station or Russell Square station, because I always like to stay in London when I wasn't with friends, in the area near the British Museum. It's a great area. You can walk to Covent Garden, you can walk to the Theatre District, you can walk to Oxford Street. You've got access to a couple of tube lines, so it's for me it's a great location. And it's near the British Museum, which is sort of neat. Since the British Museum is free, what I usually do is go in there for like an hour every morning, because museum fatigue is terrible. You know, you try and see everything all at once, you can't do it. I'd go in for an hour and then get on with the day. Done Times Square several times. Hey, Matt. Hello, Matt. Love and kisses back to you. Welcome. We're walking around. Been out here for a while. Sensory overload. Hey, hey, hey. Matt's another one of our New York scopers. Matt, I was out here scoping and Mary came running up and grabbed me. Yeah. We do have a scoping community here, which is terrific. Oh. No, it's not that cold. Temperatures in the 40s. There's almost no breeze. It is really comfortable out here. This is, you know, actually 40s is above average for this time of year. We're back to above average temperatures. And I heard a long-range prediction that said we're going to be above average for most of the winter. So what happened this past weekend was a mistake and a rare occurrence for this summer. Now, we are here at 57th Street, and I'm going to oh, that got blurry. Why isn't that clearing up? There we go. 57th Street, Isaac Stern Place. Now, why is this called Isaac Stern Place? We're right at the corner of 57th and 7th Avenue, and this is Carnegie Hall. Believe it or not, back in the 60s, all kinds of places, historic places, were endangered. We lost the original Pennsylvania station. We were in danger of losing the magnificent Grand Central Station. But Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy, or I guess Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, stepped in and raised funds to preserve Grand Central Station, and thank heaven she did. Now, another place that was in danger, they were going to tear down Carnegie Hall. Yeah, believe it or not, they were going to tear this down. But violinist Isaac Stern spearheaded a rescue effort, and it is now preserved. So this corner is named in his honor, and we're going to step inside, and I can show you the lobby. I live about 15 minutes from here in the midtown Manhattan area, on the edge of the Theatre District in Hell's Kitchen. Has been designated a registered landmark, registered National Historic Landmark, and that was done in 1964. Thankfully, Isaac Stern spearheaded the effort and saved Carnegie Hall. So his name is out on the corner, and the main auditorium here was renamed the Stern Auditorium. And here we are. This is the lobby box office area for Carnegie Hall. I have scoped from inside the hall when I was at a performance here. You can find that on my catch page. Oh, why is Hell's Kitchen called that? Well, there's so many rumors and stories and variations, but the one I like best is that back in the 1890s or something, a senior police officer, street patrolman, was assigned as a partner, a rookie, and when they got there into the 9th and 10th Avenue, squalor and crime and everything, the young cops, oh my God, this is like hell. And the senior officer said, oh no, it's hotter than that. It's Hell's Kitchen. So that's the story I sort of like, but there are a couple of other variations. Anyway, 125th anniversary. Since 1964, a landmark building, thanks to Isaac Stern, whose name now sits on the street sign, and also forever and ever and ever preserved as the Stern Auditorium. No, they have it all locked off right now. Yeah, I go with that story. But if you go on my catch page, I don't know where it is, but there is something designated Carnegie Hall. It's a short scope. I always try when I go to a performance space, whether it's a Broadway theater or something like this, Carnegie Hall, Metropolitan Opera, Cabaret 54 Below, I try and do a scope either before the performance or during intermission to let you all see what it's all like. Yeah, the intermission scopes. Yes, exactly. Whoa, we missed the siren. Oh no. I mean, you all need a good siren to let you know what street sounds are really like. Here's the entrance. Your ticket takers at either side. There are stairs, there are elevators. Well, there are concerts of all different kinds here. We'll step outside and we'll take a look and see what signage is up for the current week. But this is indeed Carnegie Hall, landmarked in 1964. No, I don't. There's too many of them. I've done over 400 broadcasts since Periscope began. About 370 of them or so are probably on Catch. Catch wasn't available at the very beginning, which is okay because those probably weren't the best scopes. All right. But, you know, whenever I am in a performance space in New York City, I always try to scope from the interior to show you what it's like. Oh, all right. Heavy door. Push the door. And then there's always signage. Ah, here we go. This covers it. Where are we? Wednesday night we have a piano performance. Oh, Thursday night. That's pretty good. National Orchestra of France is here. You can see there's a lot going on here. Oh yeah, you know, and I've said this before, I've spoken to so many scopers, so many top scopers, I mean really major scopers that a lot of people know, and every one of them says their first scopes were lousy, you know, just absolutely terrible. People, you get on, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know quite how to do it, you don't know what you want to say, you're not sure anybody's there, like, oh, there's two people here, this isn't very exciting, you know, kind of thing, whatever. You stumble, fumble, whatever. But you just keep doing it, and eventually you find what works best for you and works best for the people who want to join your scope. So I feel very fortunate that people have joined my scopes. I'm amazed at the number of followers who keep attaching themselves to my scopes, and I'm very grateful for it. But anyway, enough of that. Let's move on. We're on 57th Street. 57th Street is one of the two-way streets that go from east to west, from the East River all the way over to the Hudson River on the west side, where you can wave at friends across the river in New Jersey. Oh, trust me, there are other really wonderful scopers out there. I'm just lucky to have the city of New York at my disposal. So I've got something that people are interested in, And as all I can hope is that I present it in a way that, keeps it interesting for people. Yes, the snow in the city was cleared up amazingly quick. They did a terrific job. A combination of wonderful sanitation crews and then a few days of warm weather. But you notice they keep the crosswalk so that people can cross easily. You could basically come out here in your tennis shoes or running shoes and not get your feet wet. You don't need boots. Despite the fact that we had, over 2 feet of snow.
And you're going to be in that, okay? No, I'm not. It's 200.
Yeah, Queens always has problems with snow. It's a shame, but Queens is big. There's lots of streets there. Well, yeah, I try and do this so that you do sort of feel like you're here. What would you be looking at if you were walking around? Welcome to Scope, indeed. I love the fact that more and more people are discovering it, and I hope more and more people will start broadcasting. Yes, we do still have some snow. Mounds of it. This is the dirty, crusty, yucky stuff. Nothing appealing about this, but they've pushed it all away. The streets are clear, the sidewalks are clear. We can walk around. When it gets cold overnight, we don't have to worry about stuff freezing on the sidewalks to make us slip and fall. No, I've looked at Blab a few times. I'm not sure I like the format. I can see where it'd be great if you want to have 3 or 4 people doing some kind of presentational thing or discussing something, if they're experts. But in general, I don't know. It seems the interaction isn't as good. I love this on Periscope, the fact that you guys can, first of all, this is 57th Street in Manhattan. First of all, you can type in your little comments. I read them. I will answer them if I can. And incidentally, if I seem to not respond to a question or comment, usually it's not because I don't want to. It's because I didn't see it, because I'm trying to avoid getting run down or run into other pedestrians. 57th, where 7th Avenue is right behind me, and we're facing towards Broadway and 8th Avenue. Good evening in Florida. Rush hour here, not too bad tonight. No, I haven't been to York. Okay, let's keep walking a little bit. I'm not going to be on too much longer because I do have a couple of errands to run before I go home. But let's walk down here and see what we find. Thank you for the Russian comment, but I don't know what that is. I do not understand Russian. Please, we really appreciate it, all of us here, if you keep your comments in English. And if that's not a language that you're comfortable with, I think you need to find scopes where your language is prominent. Hey, from New Jersey. No, 5th Avenue is a couple blocks behind me, a couple long blocks. Was over there the other day, did St. Patrick's Cathedral. Gosh, was that just yesterday, maybe? I lose track. Hey, from Philadelphia. Now, we're here on 57th Street. They say 7th Avenue is behind me. We're coming up to Broadway and 8th Avenue. And despite the outage on the neon, this is the Brooklyn Diner. Yes, the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa. Incidentally, If you wanted to see the real Mona Lisa, the real one in the Louvre, you could have done that earlier today on Periscope. Absolutely, on Periscope. Euro Maestro was in the Louvre and was scoping the Mona Lisa live. So check that out. Oh yeah, there's so many things. I keep thinking of new things. For example, right across the street, a lot of construction going on, but this building is something that's been there for a long, long time. It's called the Art Students League. And I want to, next time they have an opening of a students' art show, to go there. No, actually a few legal stores have opened for medical marijuana, but I haven't checked out where they are yet, or asked my doctor about it. I hear sirens. There's something going on in the world. But anyway, yeah, you ask, I mean, this is right here, the Art Students League. I've never done anything inside there. They have art shows regularly. Well, I want to check that out. This is the Brooklyn Diner. Everybody says it's pretty good. I've actually never been in here. Now, I'm going to tell a story that some of you regulars have heard too many times already. Back in the 60s, the city passed regulations. If you wanted to put up a big building, you could put up a bigger building if you use some of your footprint for public space. So that means all of a sudden we have all these little public spaces right next door to great big buildings. And here's one of them right here. Hold on a second. Let's walk over here. Almost smashed into 4 people there, all of whom were staring down at their phones, which is why I wasn't staring at mine for a moment. This is beautiful marble floor. Floor, outdoor area. Now these are known as POPs. What does that mean? Privately owned public spaces. Privately owned public spaces. And as you can imagine, in nice weather, great place to hang out. I just walked up the stairs from there. But you see there's also a ramp, wheelchair accessible, as is so much of this city now. But this is a beautiful little space out here. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Like I say, there's so much stuff, and I keep thinking of new things to do. And once the weather starts warming up, I'll be spreading my wings around the city. Right now I'm looking for, as we're in winter, for more indoor things to do. There's several museums. I've been to Museum of Modern Art a few times on Scope. Did the Brooklyn Museum, including the mummies there. I need to get up to the Museum of Natural History to show you some dinosaurs, including a new one that just went on display. So there's, lots of stuff. There's several other beautiful churches around town. But anyway, just wanted to let you see this little public space that's here. Yeah, that dinosaur, I forgot how big it is, but they say it's the biggest dinosaur reconstruction anywhere. So we want to see that, don't we? Yes. Construction going on always in this city. Yes. I don't know exactly which brand of dinosaur it is. Dinosaurs don't have brands, do they? The latest I've scoped, you mean at night? I've been out just around midnight, I guess. No, I haven't done any middle of the night scopes. Midnight. I remember one time I was about to end the scope. I had been to the theater, went into Times Square, started scoping in Times Square for about an hour. It was about 20 minutes to 12 or 11:30 at night, and I started wandering up Broadway and said, "Oh, let's go in the M&M store," and I was there until they were ready to close. Yeah, that's true. And, well, that's different when we go out and party, when we get together. We're going to be doing that again on next Tuesday night. A group of us, we're going to Microsoft headquarters here in Times Square for some presentations. And then we're going to go to the House of Beers, which is located on 44th Street between 8th and 9th Avenue. Just about 3-4 blocks from Microsoft headquarters. It's right down the block from Birdland, the legendary jazz. Yeah, House of Beers, it's called. They have several locations. This is the one on 44th Street, 300-something West 44th. Just a few doors down the block from Birdland, the jazz venue. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be fun. This is you can't see it, Lee's Art Shop. This has been here forever and ever and ever, and it makes sense for this great big art supply store to be right across the street from the Art Students League. Yeah, apparently yes, custom brews, artisan ales, that kind of stuff. So that could be fun. That's going to be next Tuesday night, February 2nd, I guess it is. The Dino, yeah, gotta get up there. Okay, that rings a bell. Thank you, Carolyn. 122 feet long. I was going to say something in that area, but I wasn't sure exactly. Right now, the temperature here, it's about 45 degrees, which I guess is maybe 7 degrees Celsius, something like that. Yeah, it is. That's why I'm sort of strolling. If it was cold, this would have been a much shorter scope, trust me. Again, I say we got the trash piling up because all the sanitation workers have been busy getting rid of the snow, which they've done a bang-up job on. Fortunately, temperature's cool enough so that whatever trash is in there isn't going to cause odorous difficulties here in Manhattan. And I hear more sirens and traffic. The sounds of the city. Yep, there we are. Yeah, that was pretty loud. That was. But hey, listen. I know what you're talking about. Sometimes I'll be up late. It'll be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever. I'm ready to go to sleep, and let me see who's on Periscope. And people I enjoy watching from Holland or Paris or London, they're just getting up and getting out and starting to scope, and next thing I know, it's 3:30 in the morning. Oh. But it's okay. We still love Periscope. All right, we're here at Broadway and 57th Street. There's a great big building. It looks like it's a fairly new building. It's a very old building that they redid the outside of. Okay, everybody, I thank you. I'm going to end this scope, run some errands, get home and have some dinner, curl up on the couch and watch a movie or some TV, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more of New York City for you. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for the shares, the follows, the hearts, but mostly just thanks for being interested in New York City. Everybody get a good night's sleep. We may do a lot of walking again tomorrow.